not sure what's going on with it, make sure you have it. Boys and girls, we're now going over the Monday spot. Oh my gosh, Derek, you are on point today. Mr. Eats is about to start going on about Tuesday. I have got some great eagle eyes, guys, boys and girls. Yeah, Monday is what we've already done. You haven't done Tuesday yet, or you should finish that. So good job, guys. Addison's on point. She's like, Mr. Yates, you need to review Monday, please. Yeah, you got it. So good job, Eagle Eyes. We'll go ahead and get that started. Sometimes some of the technical stuff of this kind of throw me off, but I have got some really good Eagle Eyes on this one. So good job. I see Baylor and Addison, Audrey. A lot of you guys noticed that too. So good job, guys. Ava, good. We're going to review Monday first. Makes sense to do it that way. All right. So I've got my Monday right up. I've got my Monday. We're going to try this again. I've got Monday, page 1. Identify the measure of the angle in degrees and as a fraction of a full turn. On this one, it already gives you the answers to use with this one. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the answer that I picked for this one. So what I want to do is I want to look. I'm looking at my circle right now. And basically what's happening is this circle is starting here and going all the way around and being rotated. So the angle is actually a pretty big angle on this one, boys and girls. So if the angle is going all the way around in this way, it's not quite a full turn yet. It's basically about a 3/4 of a turn on this one. It looks like it might be 90 degrees, but actually it's starting here and going all the way around this way. So it's actually a 3/4 turn on this one, boys and girls. So it's almost there. It's just not quite there yet. So what we call that one is, and I'm going to move over our answer right now so you can see. So what you should have written down here, and I'll move my paper over now so you can see it. We'll put number 1, and I'm going to check. I would have picked here, the angle is 2, and I would have written an answer sentence, and let me zoom in so you can see it. You can say the angle, and if you use the word angle, awesome. The angle is 270 degrees, kind of like the temperature today in Phoenix. And let's see what's next. And it's a 3/4 turn, so it's 3/4 of the way across. So is 270 degrees and a 3/4 turn. All right, we're going to go ahead and let me zoom in a little bit more on that for you. So the words I really want to see in your answer here are angle. I want 270. Use that little tiny degree sign, so check mark that if you have a red pen or if you have a red marker. Make sure you have that. And then we have 3/4 turn. And yes, make sure you don't spell angel because that's happened before. All right, and we're going to go ahead and move on to number 2 now. So let me go ahead and move away our paper, and I can show you the question. Okay, I'm going to clear off of that. So I have a little bit of my drawing still here, so let me clear that off. Go ahead and mute your projector, boys and girls, if you still have that on. All right, boys and girls, make sure you stay focused right here on number 2. Let's take a look at number 2. I'm going to put number 2 on here. And it says the question is basically use the model to write the shaded part as a decimal. Guys, boys and girls, if you have your microphone on, just go ahead and mute it for me, please. That we're getting a little bit of noise through there, so just make sure you have that muted. On this one, we basically have the number 1 cut up into 100 pieces. So let's go ahead and cut up that, see what the model is showing us. It's showing the model as a decimal is, so I'm going to write that, or I'm going to write the words, the shaded part as a decimal. I think I'll use the shaded part as a decimal, but before I do that, I want to check and see. I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 1, 2, 3. So that's 63 parts shaded. So let me go to my paper now. And I'll just say the shaded. Make sure you're using an answer sentence here. The shaded part as a decimal is, and I want to make sure that I have 0, then the decimal dot, and then 63. All right. Okay, boys and girls, right now we should have here, I want you to put the word decimal, check mark that, check mark 0. Make sure you also have a decimal dot here, and make sure you have 63 written in. If you had shaded part, that's great. I want this as an answer sentence and not just a decimal by itself. Let's move on to number 3. Boys and girls, I'm going to go ahead and mute the chat right now because we are having some problems with people. So let me just go ahead and just remember to, or actually, just let me just warn you one last time here. Just please keep your comments. And Gabby, that's okay to ask questions. That's fine. So I just wanted to make sure you have comments in here. The model shows is fine. If you said the model is fine. I just don't need any other additional comments from people, please. You don't have to say like, yeah, that's a good job, a good tip. Just questions, please. It just keeps us focused on the what we're working on. So let's move on down to number 3. Number 3 is pretty much when I saw this one, I was like, wow, this is like the easiest 5th grade math problem ever. But I wanted to make sure that, you know, it's just a review. So we want to make sure that we have it in there. So let me go ahead and look what I wrote on my paper. Since it's just an equation, 7 times 10 right here, we can just write that down into our paper. And I want to show you how I wrote that. So we're going to go ahead here and put 7 times 10. You should have written down the equation and write down 70. Again, there really wasn't any multiplication work to do on that one. It's a pretty basic fact. So just write it down like this, showing me that you checked it. We're going to move on now to number 4. Now, number 4, it says convert the weight. The pro tip, 1 pound equals 16 ounces. We have 10 pounds, and we're going to turn that into ounces. First thing I'll do is I will write my answer sentence out, and then I'll show you the work that I did. So let me go ahead and put that over here, and we'll move that here. All right, so what I did is I went ahead and I put here on number 4, 10 pounds equals blank ounces. OZ is my abbreviation. You could have also spelled it out. On the other side here, I'm going to go ahead and put that, well, I know that on my pro tip, it said that there are 16 ounces in a pound. So I'm going to take 16 and I'm going to multiply it by 10. If you did this in your head, that's awesome. But remember, Mr. Yates is not a mind reader. So when I do ask to see your spiral math work, I do want to see it written down in here. 16 times 10 is 160. So that's all the work I need to show. Check mark that you've got your work. And then go ahead and put right here 160 ounces inside your answer sentence. If you've got that done, check mark 160, check mark 10, check mark the abbreviation, and check mark ounces. I want to make sure you have all that there. So when I do ask for you to show it to me, I can see it. It's very important so I can see the work that you've done. We're going to go ahead and check our, go back to number 5 now. And we'll move on down. On number 5, it says Wayne has 4 boxes of games. Each box has 62 games. Wayne divides the games among 8 friends. How many games will each friend get? So the first thing we'll do is we'll make an answer sentence. I would love to hear from somebody who told me what their answer is. Don't tell me the answer, but just read it out as like blank friends or blank, each friend will get blank games. So I'm going to call on someone at random to tell me that. So I want to hear your answer sentence where you said blank friends will get, sorry, each friend will get blank games. So let's hear that answer sentence. Ms. Church, you want to spark somebody up? If I do call your name out, just go ahead and unmute your microphone and read the answer sentence to me that you got without the answer in it, just the blank. So we'll say like blank, or each friend will get blank games. What was that? Baylor. Baylor, do you want to go ahead and unmute your microphone and just tell me what the answer sentence you wrote down is? Baylor, it sounds like you're having trouble with your microphone there. So can you go ahead and unmute one more time, Baylor, and try? I'm going to pick another random person here. Go ahead. Ms. Church? Reagan. Reagan, I know you're in the house. So Reagan, do you want to unmute your microphone and read me what your answer sentence was on your spiral math?
I wrote each friend would get blank games.
Perfect. Each friend would get blank games. And thank you for volunteering. I saw a lot of people saying, I can do that, I can do that. That's great. Thank you, Reagan. So let's write that down. That's a perfect answer sentence. You may have gotten something a little different, but that's a really good way to write the answer sentence. So I'm going to write that down. Check mark that you wrote that here. Each friend, oops, Mr. Yates is using a pencil with a non-eraser, which is not a good idea. So when I make a mistake, I have to cross it out. Each friend will get blank games. That was a great way to say it, Reagan. And I'm going to just check mark to make sure. You do need your answer sentence to have the word friend. You want to make sure you have games in there. Those are the required words in this answer sentence. Let's go and take a look how we'd solve it. On this one, I noticed that it talks about how each box has 62 games. And we're going to divide it among 8 friends. So let me see. I'm going to let me go to my paper so you can see. What you should have done is you should have taken the 62, the number of games, and divided it by, or not the number of, let me see here. Yeah, 62 games. And we're going to see, we got 4 boxes of games, and each box has 62 games. So the first thing I'm going to do is, this is how many games are in one box. Wow, that's a lot of games. And he's got 4 of those boxes. Wow. So the first thing I'll do is find out how many games he's got. 62 games times 4, 8. 6 times 4 is 24. He's got 248 games. That's a lot of games. Okay. Well, he's going to divide those games up amongst his friends, and he has 8 friends. So he's going to take 248, all the games, and he's going to divide them equally amongst his buddies. So we're going to take, and we can't put anything over the 2, so 24 divided by 8 is 3. 24, that's 0 as a remainder. Drop down the 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. So we end up with 31 games. And no, Riley, we're not counting Wayne as a friend. He's giving them all his other friends. So Wayne's left out of the equation. Good question. We're just going to use Wayne among his 8 friends. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take that 31 and we're going to put that into our answer sentence. So each friend will get 31 games. That is a lot of games for each friend, but that's nice. All right, I'm running out of room on this side of the page, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to number 6 for our next one. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 6 on the next side. I'm going to move over my drawing right here. Yes. All right, so number 6, I'm going to put it on the other side, and let me make sure I show what we're doing. Okay. No, guys, Wayne will not get any of the games. So let's go ahead and we'll focus on number 6 right now. On the back of my paper, I also want to put answer. I also want to put work. And then what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and take a look at our paper. All right. And Devlin, Maisie. Oh my gosh, it's almost kind of like the same. Well, no, it's different spelling. That's kind of interesting. Devin, Maisie, and Aria collect pennies. If each person collects the same amount of pennies each day, how many pennies will Devlin have after 6 days? So let's go ahead and take a look. It says here, if each person collects the same amount of pennies each day, how many pennies will Devlin have after 6 days? All right, so let's take a look at our answer sentence. Boys and girls, let's go ahead and focus in on this. I'd like you to go ahead and tell me an answer sentence. Ms. Church, could you pick someone who could tell me the answer sentence that she'd put here?
Hunter.
Hunter, do you want to go ahead and unmute this time and tell me the answer sentence you wrote? You would say like, Devin will have blank pennies after 6 days. You don't want to tell me the answer, just the blank in there. You ready, Hunter?
Devlin will have blank pennies after 6 days.
Perfect. Nice job. That's what you should need to have written right here, boys and girls. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I want to make sure you have this answer sentence down here. And his name is Devlin. Will have blank pennies after 6 days. You do need all these words in here, boys and girls, so check your work right now. And I think it's Devlin, isn't it? Yeah, Devlin. All right, so let's go ahead right here. We're going to check mark Devlin. We're going to check mark the word pennies. We're going to check mark 6 and days. I want all those words in your answer sentence. And then we're going to go ahead and check our answer right here. We're going to look and see what we did. Boys and girls, on this one, we really don't have to worry about anything with Aria because it's only asking about Devlin, so I'm not going to deal with that one. And then we're going to go ahead and say, and Riley, yeah, Devlin will have a total of blank pennies. Is okay, Riley. And we don't need Maisie. We're just going to look at Devlin, and Devlin has 84 pennies every day that he collects. So we're going to go ahead and if they collect the same amount of pennies each day, how many will have after 6 days? So we'll go ahead and take a look. We're just going to be doing some multiplying. We're going to multiply that 84 times 6. So let's go ahead and make sure you've done that. All right, let me take this off. We'll pull it over here. We take our 84, multiplied by 6. And I have 504 pennies. So Devlin will have 504 pennies after 6 days. If you got that, go ahead and just check mark 504. And you got it. We're going to do 2 more. And then we'll take a little stretch break, and then we'll get started on going over our homework answers. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our next part. Move this over here. And then, okay, we're going to choose the equivalent length. Now here what we're going to do is we're going to take 120 inches. We're going to find out which is the equivalent length for this one, boys and girls. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at number 7. I'm going to write down 7 and just do an answer sentence here, or an expression of 120 inches. And let me zoom this out. Let me get this. Okay, so we'll put here number 7. 120 inches equals blank. And while I was writing it, I completely forgot what I was going to write on this one. Equals blank. Oh, we don't have anything blank here. We have to figure out the blank. On this one, boys and girls, what I would have done is I would have said here that 8 yards isn't going to work. 180 inches isn't going to work. 72 inches, nope, 10 feet. And the reason why I think 10 feet is because if I take 120 inches, I know that if I divide it by the number of inches in 1 foot, which is 12, I end up with 10. So that means that 10 feet is going to be my answer here. Now, I showed you how I did my thinking for this one. I want to see how you did it for yours. So don't just write the answer in right here, but also show me how you figured it out. I want to be able to know that you, again, I'm not a mind reader, so I want to see in your work where you actually figured it out. So you should have 120 inches equals 10 feet. We're going to move on right now to our final one. Then we'll take a little stretch break, and then we'll go ahead and reconvene in to do over our spiral or do over our math homework. Let's go ahead and we'll bring you back into here. Okay, number 8, our final one. The department store mailed 5,234 coupons to households in its neighborhood. Each household got 3 coupons. How many coupons were left over? Okay, Ms. Church, would you mind going ahead and sparking up somebody to tell me what the answer sentence would be for this one? And I'll write down if it's... So go ahead and take a look. And Allison, yours is fine. Your answer for equivalent length of 120 inches, that's fine.
Ava.
Ava, you want to go ahead and read what you wrote as your answer sentence, just leaving the actual answer number blank.
I didn't actually know the answer, so I was gonna wait and ask you about it because it's
No worries, no worries. But what I want you to do right now is why don't you look at the answer sentence. How many coupons were left over? I want you to turn that into an answer sentence. You don't actually even need to know the answer for this part yet. You just need to know how to turn it into an answer sentence. If I asked you how many coupons were left over, how would you say that as an answer to me?
well, you could say there were blank coupons left over.
That's actually how I would say it too, Ava. Great job. You could say it all. Yeah, that's perfect. And actually, I'll write that one down as an example here. Good job. So I could say here in my answer sentence, there were blank coupons left over. And even before you start to solve this, you should always write out the answer sentence, just so you kind of, it helps to give you a little bit better idea of what you're trying to look for in yours. Okay. Boys and girls, some of you are asking on this one. I'm going to be, today we're just checking the work, but every once in a while, in class, I'm always checking to see it. Every once in a while, I'll be putting up a flip grid, so I want you to show me your work. So, but I want to get you in the habit of doing this before we start grading you on showing you my work, just so you get exactly on there. And Riley, that's great. I'm glad you got it on. And that's fine. There are blank coupons left over. It's fine. So we're going to go and take a look at our work now on this one. Okay. Oh, I should have gotten my work. So it looks like there's 5,234 coupons. So I'm going to start by making a answer sentence. 5,000 or some expression here. 5,234 coupons. And I'm looking at it, and it looks like I'm going to divide it by 3 because every household or family got a 3. Oh my gosh, you have a great eagle eye. I left out a word that you told me. There were blank coupons left over. Oh my gosh, I am so glad you're focused on point on that one. Thanks. And yeah, that would help if I had that on there. So I want to make sure there were blank coupons left over. Good. Now, when I do that kind of a mistake, I make that what's called a copy error. When I copy down some, I know I'm saying it, but I don't actually copy it correctly, so I have to fix it. That's when I make a copy error. So I'm glad you noticed that. I'm glad we were able to fix it. All right, so I'm going to take my 5,234 and I'm going to divide it by 3, and that's going to be equaling a question mark, which is the number of coupons. Now, I want to find out how many were left over. So after I divide, I'm going to look at my remainder to actually put it in my sentence. So let me do some dividing. 5,234 divided by 3. And again, if you see any mistakes Mr. Yates makes while I'm doing it, it's okay to let me know. Jacob, if you're having trouble showing your work on the same page, just make sure that you have your work in a space where I can see it. I'd like us to get in the habit of being able to show your work right after your work, or right near where your answers, so you can see what's going on with it. That's fine if you're having troubles, especially now that we're at home, if you're not able to fit it all in there. So I'm just going to let a couple people who got accidentally out. So I'm going to keep on dividing here. Okay, so 3 times 4 is 12. So as I go through here, it looks like at the very end, I end up with 2 coupons left over. That's my remainder. I don't want to know how many families have gotten coupons. I just want to know how many coupons were left over. So I'm going to say that there were 2 coupons left over. So I'm going to go ahead and put it up here. There were 2 coupons left over. All right, boys and girls, great job on your spiral math today. Make sure that you have the words coupons on that answer sentence. I'm going to take a look right now at our agenda. I'm going to go ahead and move a little bit more stuff off of my desktop so we can see the actual agenda. And then I'll share that over with you to see where we're at right now and make sure how we are on point with our time. Actually, we're just a little bit behind schedule, but I think we still have enough time for a brief stretch break. So what I'm going to do is just mute everybody right now. I want you to go ahead and stand up if you need to walk away. I'm just going to go ahead and right now let you get up and take a little stretch break while we wait for, let's say it's 9:15 right now, and 9:20 we'll come back. I'll leave the meeting on. I'm going to mute it though for right now. So at this point, just go ahead and take a stretch break, get up, walk around. If you need to come and get a drink of water, or if you just want to just move for a little bit, go ahead and do that. At 9:20, we'll be going over our math homework. So if you want to, go ahead and get your math homework from yesterday, and we could get that ready to go over together. So we'll come back at 9:20 to give you a little bit of a break before we start in with our math homework.